Nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but you can start today and change the ending.
A very good morning to one and all. We hope yesterday's sessions were useful and informative. We again welcome you all for the second day of the conference on sustainable living, climate adaptation, and resilience.
I request Professor A. Alagappa Moses, Vice Principal, Head, Department of Environmental Sciences, to introduce Mr. S. Rajagopal.
Good morning. So I'm happy to introduce Mr. Rajagopal, the junior engineer from the Public Works Department. He's basically a civil engineer and associated with the Department of Environmental Sciences since 2010 onwards. And one of the initiatives for the PWD of the government of Tamil Nadu is to start an environmental wing. So when the environmental wing was started in the Coimbatore city, they started a chapter in Tiruchirappalli for which Mr. Rajagopal sir was in charge of that and instrumental in establishing one of the best environmental wing in the state of Tamil Nadu, for which I think we need to congratulate Mr. Rajagopal for starting up that kind of an initiative. For appreciation to you, sir. And secondly, he just volunteered to interact with us in 2010. And we started this No Drive Day and observing or celebrating the International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer on the 16th September. So when we initiated this No Drive Day, Bishop Heber College was the first pioneer in initiating this exercise since 2007 onwards. And then later in 2010, with the help of the environmental wing of the Tiruchirappalli city, we just extended that to rest of the institutions in the city. And very few institutions volunteered to take up this. And they started, like monitoring the air quality before and after the observance of the No Drive Day, and taking a stock of the number of vehicles flying into the campuses, and then how the carbon footprint, like we are accounting for that and everything. So that is one of the important initiative of Mr. Rajagopal in the cities, for which most of these institutions, they responded to his invitation, they have done it. And of late, we have associated with many activities. And I think in February or so, he started a new library in the environmental wing of Tiruchirappalli city. An environmental library with a lot of environmental books and all that. And I think quite recently, he made adaptation with reference to the river systems is one of the major initiatives taken up by Mr. Rajagopal. That is the Nadandai Vali Kaveri. So that's one of the important projects that he associated himself with that. And then he prepared all the draft project report, DPR and everything. And he made a lot of presentations in the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in New Delhi. And then thereby the project is now in force and then it is being implemented. And luckily, Bishop Heber College, the Department of Environmental Sciences is also part of that exercise in terms of monitoring the water quality, both the floral and faunal elements, biodiversity assessment in all that. So this Nadandai Vali Kaveri is one of the projects, and then the other project is a new river formation from branching from the river Kaveri to Pudukkottai. So these were all the climate adaptation programs that have been already implemented, for which Mr. Rajagopal has played an important role. And even yesterday, I heard that, like there was an oxygen park established in the city. And so as in many of this entire state of Tamil Nadu, he's doing a lot of environmental restoration and other kind of activities. So he's basically a person who gets involved into the field activities and then also establishes links with the universities and the research departments of this kind. So with these few words, I have the privilege and pleasure of extending my warm welcome to him. And I'm sure that you're going to have a good session from Mr. Rajagopal. Welcome you, sir. Thank you.
Now, I invite Dr. Anand Karnagaran, Associate Professor, Department of Physics, to honor Mr. S. Rajagopal.